Hey everybody, this is Blue, and I just got done watching a good video by Wizards of the Tower. I took a screenshot so you know what to look for. And so they did a video about removing the alignment from RPGs. Apparently, Paizo is going to be removing their alignment chart from their future game system. Now, as they said in their video, it is so that they can distance themselves as much as possible from D&D. Okay, cool. But they were talking about, do you need to replace it with something? And because without it, they were saying that, then you have players using their PCs in questionable manners. How if they don't have the guideline of the alignment chart, then they are just going to play that character as they would do things in real life. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and so I left them a response. But I wanted to talk about that a little bit more since I kind of hit close to the video that I've made today about paladins. See, I hate the alignment chart. The first two paladins I played were in other people's campaigns, and I had to follow the alignment chart and their very strict rules of what paladins were. And so I was glad to stop playing them. I drew up another character. I tried to stay away from religion as much as I could. After that, when I was in other people's worlds. Do you need an alignment system? And the answer is no, in my opinion. You see, I believe that the game master should create his world, his or her world, as they see fit. And so how they view good and bad is going to be purely up to the game master. Because that's one of the things. See, I perceive good and bad as just perspectives. Some things are absolute, but there's a lot of gray areas. Because what you think is good could be viewed as evil by anybody, including myself. And so it's all about perspective. And I love that word perspective, don't I? So you cannot have just a standard rule of this is chaotic good, this is lawful good, this is neutral good, and all that. You've got to follow these rules for this and that and everything. No. After the GM has created what his world is like, it is up to the player to play his character within those confines. Yes, they could be rather strict, but there could be some leeway here, and hopefully there is some leeway. And if the player does not follow those ideals, then I think the GM should be able just to go and say, hey, you're not following how that race or profession works. And so, hey, can you kind of watch how you do things a little bit better? Give the player a chance, singular, one, to readjust his PC and give him a chance to run that PC better. If the player refuses, if you have a Hobbit bard that is just a murdering little bastard, well, then that's not what hobbits do. Halflings, hobbits, And so after a warning, you can just say, there's divine lightning and blah, blah, blah. The bard halfling was vaporized by divine lightning, and tell that player to go. The other way to do this, and it's how I do it, is the karma system. Every time a player goes out of character in how they are playing their PC and with little regard, or they do, well, that's what my character will do to you, give them a karma point. And then once they hit a certain level, for me it's every 10 karma points, then they have to roll for a random encounter. And you can pick anything. You can even create your own encounter chart if you want to. And the example that I gave in their video was, since I play Rollmaster, it's percentage dice 2d10s. Roll a 99 or 100, and a fire drake comes down from the sky with its large claws, grabs everything, and flies away. All you had is what's on you. So then, this person, if he was like the murder hobbit, and he was killing people to acquire wealth and items, he just lost everything. Punishment. And now every, player is going to go, why did you do that? Well, do you remember that coin, the coins that you stole from whoever? Well, those once belonged to that dragon. He came back for them. Okay? And so that is how I control players, going out of character, because the last thing they want me to do is grab that little clipboard, because that means they know they screwed up, and then they are going to try to watch how they play their character, because, sometimes it's really, really bad, sometimes it's really, really funny. Because sometimes it's all about embarrassing the PC. Because you can have the PC Lou starts sleepwalking. He gets up from camp and then he walks right into the river with something, and when he wakes up he's covered in leeches, for example. And then because he's covered with leeches, he needs help taking them off. He loses this much stamina. He takes so many hits, and they don't want to go through that again. So hopefully they watch what they do. So anyway, that is just my little idea that I had a few years ago on how to take care of players that like to go on the cringe side. So everybody, please take care. Be at peace.